Good morning. Please join fast. It's already 9 o'clock. So unit 4, the operating system support. Unit 4, operating system support. So this chapter mainly aims on how middleware is supported by the operating system facilities at the nodes of the distributed system. And the operating system facilitates the encapsulation and protection of resources inside the servers, and it supports the invocation mechanisms required to access these resources, including the communication and scheduling. Okay, and also we will discuss about the role of the system kernel, and advantage and disadvantage of splitting functionality between the protection domains. So, in particularly kernel and user level code, and what are the trade-offs between kernel level facilities and user level facilities also we will discuss, and also between efficiency and robustness also we will discuss. Okay, and mainly we will examine the design and implementation of multi-threaded processing and communication facilities. Okay, okay. See here, we'll discuss in unit 4. We will discuss the main thing is operating system support. This is the heading of this unit 4. Under this heading, so we will discuss about operating system layer, protection, process and threads, address space, creation of a new process, and finally a touch on threading. I mean thread functions, etc. We will discuss. Okay, so yeah, so mainly operating system support. So what is the importance of operating system support in distributed system? So that we will discuss here. Okay. So first we will discuss the introduction. So first we will discuss introduction, then operating system layer, then process and threads, and finally operating system architecture. Okay. So what is important aspect of distribution resource sharing? So client applications, what it will do is to invoke the operations and resources that are often on another node or at least in another process. Okay, so applications and services use the middleware layer for their interactions. So middleware provides the remote invocation between objects or processes at the nodes of the distributed system. Okay, so we discussed in the last unit we discussed about Java, RMA, and Corba. Okay, so in this we will discuss about in this operating system support. We will discuss about the support for multimedia communication, which is real time and stream oriented. Okay, and below the middleware layer is the operating system layer. మీరు కనుక ఒక్కసారి లేయర్ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ చూస్తే డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ సిస్టంలో అన్నిటికన్నా బాటమ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఉంటుంది, దానిపైన ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ హార్డ్వేర్ ఉంటుంది, దానిపైన మిడిల్ వేర్ ఉంటుంది, దానిపైన అప్లికేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. క్లియర్? ఒకసారి గుర్తించుకోండి. లేయర్ ఆఫ్ ది లేయర్డ్ software layers in a distributed system. Okay, software layers in a distributed system. Okay, at the bottom, your operating hardware, and on the top of the hardware, operating system. On the top of the operating system, middleware. Okay, so below the middle layer, the operating system layer exists in the layered architecture of the distributed system. Software layers of the distributed system. Okay, software layers of the distributed system. Okay, every middleware and middleware kinda bottom of the middleware what lies is middleware, and bottom of the OS, and bottom of OS hardware, and on top of the middleware application. This is the layered architecture of distributed system. Layered software layered architecture of distributed. Okay, one of the main important characteristic of distributed system is resource sharing. That is resource sharing. Who will do the resource sharing in reality? Operating system. Operating system will do the reality. Operating system will do the resource sharing in reality. Okay. And the task of any operating system is resource management. Resource అంటే ఏంటి? ప్రాసెస్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు. ప్రాసెస్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసేది ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమే. మెమరీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసేది ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమే. తర్వాత డిస్క్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసేది డిస్క్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ చేసేది ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమే. ఓకే, సో what the operating system provides to the programmer, the operating system provides the programmer the files rather than the disk themselves. The files rather than the disk themselves. Okay, this is about the operating system. Clear? Okay, clear. So what is the task of an operating system? Resource management. That means process management, memory management, IO management, disk management. All these management is done by the operating system only. Okay, so what operating system provides the programmer? So operating system provides the programmer files rather than disk blocks, and with sockets rather than the network access. So it takes all the physical resources on a single node and manages them to present these resources abstraction through system call interface. So before we begin our detailed coverage of operating system middleware support role, it is useful to gain some historical perspective by examining two operating system concepts that have the that were come about during the development of the distributed system. So one is network operating system and another one is distributed operating system. So what is an example of network operating system? So both Unix and Windows are example of the network operating system. First, you will see the difference between two operating systems. That is network operating system and distributed operating system. Distributed operating system. What is the difference between these two? Network operating system and distributed operating system. So first we will see the difference. In case of network operating system, they have the networking capability built into them, and so can be used to access remote resources. So access is network transparent. So a type of transparency support then network operating system network access transparent. For example, through a distributed file system, okay, such as NFS. Okay, users have network transparent access to the files. So that is many of the files that user access are stored remotely on a server and this is largely transparent to their application. So distributed system లో మామూలుగా ఫైల్స్ అన్ని డిస్ట్రిబ్యూట్ అయి ఉంటాయి. సో నెట్వర్క్ లో ఎక్కడైనా ఏ సిస్టమ్ లోనే ఉండొచ్చు ఫైల్. సో దట్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ ప్రొవైడ్స్ ది యూజర్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నెట్వర్క్ ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్. Network, that means the remote access is possible but through the network aspect. Clear? So that is about this network operating system. But the defining characteristic is that nodes running a network operating system remains autonomy in managing their own processing. So there is a autonomous nodes are autonomous in a network operating system. Why? Because they manage their own processing resources. So that means there are multiple system images per one node. So when a network operating system, user can remotely log into another computer using R login or telnet and run the process there. అర్థమైందండి. సో ఆర్ లాగిన్ ద్వారా కానీ లేదా టెల్నెట్ ఆర్ లాగిన్ కమాండ్ టెల్నెట్ అనేది ఒక టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఫెసిలిటీ ప్రొవైడెడ్ ఫర్ కనెక్టింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ టు అనదర్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్. ఓకే, సో ఇట్లా ఏమవుతుందంటే అటానమస్ గా ఉంటాయి నెట్వర్క్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ లో నోడ్స్ అన్ని. అలానే నెట్వర్క్ ట్రాన్స్పరెన్సీ ఉంటుంది. అలానే ఇంకా ఏముంటుందంటే నెట్వర్క్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ లో సో టెల్నెట్ కానీ లాగిన్ ద్వారా కానీ వేరే సిస్టమ్ కనెక్ట్ అవ్వచ్చు, వేరే కనెక్ట్ అవ్వి అక్కడ ప్రాసెస్ రన్ చేయొచ్చు. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఫెసిలిటీ అవైలబుల్. However, unlike the operating system's control of the process, running at its own node, it does not schedule process across the node. So that is the disadvantage of this network operating system. It cannot schedule the process across the node. Only within a system it can schedule, like a conventional operating system. Okay, so by contrast, that means in a distributed system, in a distributed operating system, what happens is one could operate in which users are never concerned with where their programs run or the location of innovation. So there is a single system. Okay, in case of distributed operating system, there is only single. Whereas in case of network operating system, each node has its own image. Each node has its own image, and the operating system has control over all the nodes in the system, and it transmits locates a new process at whatever node suits its scheduling its process. So in case of distributed operating system, so scheduling can be done across the nodes in the distributed manner. So the distributed process can be scheduled in case of distributed operating system. To create a new process at the least loaded node in the system to prevent individual nodes become unfairly loaded. So load balancing also done by the distributed operating system. Okay, so what is the difference between a network operating system and a distributed operating system? In case of network operating system, in case of network operating system and distributed operating system. So in case of network operating system, network operating system, each node has an image. Each node has an image. Whereas distributed OS, single image. అర్థవుతుందండి. అలానే దిస్ ఈజ్ వన్ డిఫరెన్స్. ఇంకో డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటంటే షెడ్యూలింగ్ అక్రాస్ నోడ్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. షెడ్యూలింగ్ అక్రాస్ నోడ్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ అదే ఇక్కడ సింగిల్ ఇమేజ్, ఇంకోటి షెడ్యూలింగ్ ఈజ్ పాసిబుల్ అక్రాస్ ది నోడ్స్. Scheduling across nodes is possible. Okay, and here in both cases, network here also network transparency is available. One of the characteristics of distributed system is one of the 8 transparencies. One of the transparency network transparency. So here also network transparency, and in a distributed system also network transparency. So these are the important points to both mention here. Okay, network operating system and distributed operating system. So both have, each node has image. Scheduling across nodes not possible, and network transparency is possible. And here single image, scheduling across the nodes possible, and third one is network transparency. Clear? So these are the few differences between the network transparency and the network transparency in case of distributed operating system and a network operating system. Okay, so this is the introduction of the operating system in a distributed system. Okay, I hope it is clear to everyone. Um, I hope it is clear to everyone. So next is middleware. Next is middleware and network operating system. So in fact, there are no distributed system operating system in general. Use only network operating systems such as Unix, Mac OS, and Windows. Remember this point. There is no network operating system in general that use. There is no distributed operating system in general. Use only network operating system. Okay. So this is likely to remain the case for two reasons. So the first reason is users must have much invested in their application software, which often meets their current problem solving nature. So they will not adopt a new operating system that will not run their applications. So whatever efficiency advantage it offers. So what is the advantage of operating system and the efficiency? One of the advantage of operating system is efficiency. Okay, okay, but one of the advantage of operating system is efficiency. But what happens is uh, when compared to advantage of efficiency, the applications, the latest problems can be solved on the application. So application software. So users are invest more on application software rather than on an operating system. Okay, so that is one of the reason why. And attempts have been made to emulate Unix and other operating system kernels on top of the new kernels, but the emulation performance has not been satisfactory. Anyway, keeping emulations of all major operating systems up to date as evolved would be a huge understanding. Okay, so this is another problem in the um, so only the advantage is here with a distributed operating system is there is no network operating system installed in place. So even if you attempt any existing on the top of the to emulate Unix on top of the existing kernels, the performance is not satisfactory. Performance is important. So performance is not efficient. Operating system is efficient, but the performance is not satisfactory. So hence, user invest more on applications rather than on the new operating system. And the second reason for adoption of distributed operating system is rather than network operating system is users tend to prefer to have a degree of autonomy of their machines. So one important point worth mention here is autonomy. So network operating systems are autonomous. Fourth is autonomous. Both are autonomous. Network operating system and distributed operating system. Autonomous, and here also in autonomous. Clear? Okay, so the second reason is that user tend to prefer to have a degree of autonomy for their machines. So this is particularly so because of performance. Okay, so for example, we need a good interactive responsiveness. Okay, when we're writing the documents. Okay, so yeah, so good response is one of the reason why we are adopting the distributed operating system. Okay. Next, the combination of middleware and network operating system provides an acceptable balance between the requirement for autonomy on one hand and the network transparency on another hand. Okay, the combination of middleware and network operating system so provides an Okay. Okay. So yeah. So we are discussing about network operating system and distributed operating system. So here, on one hand, why we are adopting network operating system and a combination of middleware is, one thing is autonomy granted in case of network operating system, and second thing is network transparency. We can access the resources present in any system in the distributed. Okay, any system in a distributed system in a network transparency. Okay. So what is the advantage of this middleware? So middleware enables them to take advantages of the services that become available in the distributed system. Okay. So this is about the introduction to the distributed system. So mainly our concentration on network operating system and distributed operating system. So network operating system autonomous but single image per node, whereas distributed operating system single image across the distributed system, and resource sharing is a network transparent, autonomous. Okay, autonomous. So these are the few advantages. Okay, about the middleware and the so middleware enables the both operating systems to take advantage of the services that become available in the distributed system. Okay, so first we will discuss about the operating system layer, then we will examine the resource protection. Okay, so that means in protection we will discuss about relation between process and thread and the role of the kernel itself. Next we will examine the process, address space, and thread abstractions. Okay, so the main topics are concurrency and local resource management and protection and scheduling. Concurrency, resource management, protection and scheduling. So these are the main concepts which we will discuss in this unit. Okay, so then covers the communication part of the. Then we will discuss about the different types of operating system architecture. That is monolithic kernel and micro kernel. So we'll discuss about these two differences in operating system architecture. Clear? So we will start. We will start first operating system layer. What is the first topic we are going to cover? Operating system layer. Okay, so users will only be satisfied if their middleware OS combination has good performance. Just now we discussed the combination of middleware and OS is very important. Why? Because middleware enables the operating system to take advantage of the services that become available in the distributed system. Middleware example, Corva is a middleware, RMI is a middleware. Okay, there are many examples are there. Okay, so the combination of OS and middleware achieves good performance, and the middleware runs a variety of OS hardware combinations also at the nodes of the distributed system. The OS running at a node, for example, a kernel and associated user level kernels, libraries, provides its own flavor of abstraction of local hardware resources for processing, storage, and management. Okay, so what is the advantage of this middleware? It enables the it runs a varieties of OS and hardware combinations at each node in a distributed system. That is the first one, and the second one is OS running at a node. Okay, OS contained kernel and associated user level service, example libraries. Okay, so provides the abstractions for processing of local hardware resources, storage and communication. Storage and communication. And OS and the resource management. OS storage management, communication and IPC. Okay, atlane resource management. So all these are things done by the OS only. So middleware utilizes a combination of these local resources to implement its mechanism for remote invocations between objects or objects at the other node. Okay, for remote invocation between objects or a process at the nodes. So remote invocation unit 3 lo chadivam manam RMI gaani RPC gaani. So those are examples of the middleware. So those utilizes the local resources which are available. It is combination of local to implement the remote invocation between objects are processed at the different nodes. Processed at the different nodes. Clear? Yeah. So this is the diagram of the um, system layer. So hardware at the bottom, next OS, next middleware, next application. Next. So this is nothing but the layered architecture. Software layers in a distributed system. Hardware comes bottom, OS next top, middleware, OS immediate top of the hardware, and middleware next position after OS, and applications at the application service at the top most. So these are layered architecture of the distributed system. And that figure shows how at each software at each of the nodes support a common middleware layer in providing a distributed infrastructure for applications and the services. Okay, so what is our goal? So our goal in this kernels and server are the components that manage resources and process kinds within the kernels and server process. So kernels ante OS and server process ante process setting at the server. So all the components that manage the resources and present clients with an interface to the resources. So in order to access the clients resources and access cheyalante, how is it possible? It is possible only through two things, that is kernels and server process. Clients can access the resources only through kernels and server process. Only through kernels and server process. So this is about the middleware and the main thing now, our goal is impact of OS mechanism on hardware on middleware's ability. Impact of OS mechanism on middleware's ability to deliver distributed resource sharing to the users.